My people wonder they say shall never end. According to what we are hearing right now, they said Ebony does not have respect. One bit. And this is why they said she have shunned elders. They said if you see the kind of words that she used for these elders who thought they were helping by calling her to advise her, you know, according to the information, they said the king have insisted that unless Ebony returns to the UK, that she is going to have serious problem in the palace. And Ebony, on the other hand, from what we heard, though these are all alleged information, they said Ebony, on the other hand, have said nobody can push her out of her matrimonial home. That palace is her home, is her husband's house, and for that reason, she goes nowhere, especially when the king is pushing her out because of the jewel, that she's not going to fold her arms and watch the king push her out because of another woman. So when elders were in their meeting, they said some of them were trying to tell the king, maybe based on what Ebony told them, I don't know, or maybe based on the fact that maybe elders from Ebony's house must have convinced those elders. They were telling the king that, see, these are your wives. You need to learn how to manage them so that you don't treat others better than the others and all of that. Because they believe so much that it is because of the queen, that is the jewel, that the king wanted Ebony to leave. But the fact remains that Ebony have done a whole lot of things. A whole lot. See, when they are talking about the spiritual aspect, after the immunity remover, she started with the physical aspect. Because the issue they said the king was having with the jewel, based on the pastor, the Australian pastor, they said Ebony contributed to it. Ebony was working with the jewel's cousin and was releasing false information that the king was using against the queen. And that is why I keep saying that sometimes the king sometimes should take, or should be kind of, is also responsible for some of the things that is happening between him and the jewel. Because I don't see the reason you should not trust her or pay attention to listen to her own side of the story. Because when the king was very angry based on that issue, he was just reacting. They said the queen was trying to explain to him that it is not like that. Yes, I know this man. I have met him. We even had dinner, but it was in my uncle's house. The dinner wasn't arranged by me or the man in question. So why are you seeing it as a very big deal? And I met that dinner. It's not as if I was invited for it and the guy was invited to. I came there and I met them. So I should stop going to my uncle's house because of one pastor like that. Okay, the husband was, the uncle was making arrangements for marriage, but I said no to it. But the king refused to listen due to some of the information they have been giving him, of which Ebony and the cousin was behind it. Nobody is talking from that aspect. All they keep saying is, it is because of the love that the king have for the jewel is blinding him and that kind of stuff. So with all of this, they said they wanted to kind of advise the king. But unfortunately, the king told them that the jewel is never the problem. She is never the problem. As a matter of fact, without her, the throne will always keep experiencing problems and all of that. The problem is Ebony, but her own is that she always thinks that she is more important than others. The last thing she will do is to obey the king's instruction. The king will give instruction, Ebony will do otherwise. And they said this is always a very big problem for her, to the king. And now, after the king must have convinced the elders that the jewel is not a problem, but Ebony is. So after that meeting, they said two elders have decided to call Ebony. When they call Ebony, they were trying to let her know that you can't challenge your husband, especially a big king like your husband. You cannot challenge him because challenging him will make him not to show love to you again, and you will keep complaining about marginalization. Because the other day they said there was this ritual that they did, and Ebony was given the bread to go and deliver to the king. The king rejected it. Another person brought it and he accepted it, and they were talking about marginalization. Why won't he marginalize you when you keep challenging your husband and others are respecting him, making him be the king that he is in their life, and you think he will love you and respect you? No, now. If you challenge him, he will let you know that you are nothing before him. Yes. And they said he was she blocked the way the other day that the king allowed Lizzie to enter and blow, but did not allow her. Why would he allow you to enter his chamber when you are a fellow man? Because it's only a fellow man that will challenge him like that, not a wife that he paid her bride price. So they said those elders were trying to let her know reasons why she shouldn't be challenging the husband, especially in a polygamous home like this. They all fight to get the king's love and affection. You, instead of you to be doing same, you are challenging the king, trying to make the king know that you can do all things by yourself through your family who strengthens you. You know, they said the elders were trying to educate her on how to survive and be loved by her husband in this polygamous marriage. And they said Ebony turned against those elders, warning them to stay on their lane, to mind their business, not to meddle in her affairs with her husband, especially when they don't care about her, that the king have brainwashed them. The king have brainwashed them, and because they support the jewel, that is why they are saying all of this. They say one of the others were trying to tell Ebony that it's not about who they support or who they do not support. That the reason Lizzie and Blow is enjoying the marriage right now more than you is because they have realized that fighting their husband is not the best. After all, if you tell yourself the truth, during the time that Blow was always challenging the king's authority and decisions, Blow wasn't enjoying that marriage. She was the most person that always complained about marginalization, but not anymore. You know, she no longer complains about marginalization now. I'm talking of Blow, and that is because she have changed. She have known that it is wrong to be challenging your husband, who is also a king. So they said the way Ebony insulted those elders, calling them jobless elders that cannot mind their business. They said the elders were kind of so ashamed of themselves. They even regret ever trying to advise Ebony. That is what we are hearing, if the information is true. I want to remind you that these are all alleged, unverified information making rounds on social media and shouldn't be seen as fact unless you verify them. Okay, thanks for watching. Share this video. Bye for now.